another night of the week, or to be more specific, it's a
Shit. Well done.
hanging out. Just another night of the week, or to be more specific, it's a Tuesday Eve. Got some ideas that just might intrigue. You should come on by tonight. We're spilling the beans.
Get into YouTube and pull it up.
Chat.
Cool.
I got it.
Cool. Okay, we got chat. It's after holidays.
And we're back.
It's a new year. We're back. Thanks for joining Spilling the Beans.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that was a funny bone.
Oh.
We got Abel back.
Welcome back, Abel.
Hopefully the New Year's was good to everyone.
Mhm.
And yeah, we have kind of like a good normal show. Thank you again to the folks that helped us out with guests.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I
Those
enjoyed
were
them.
great. Abel was able to watch them, so that was awesome. And yeah, so new year, we got this is 21. We're on 21 podcasts.
Whoa,
That's crazy.
that is crazy.
And yeah, so we'll get into it. Today we have, well, Abel actually came up with these ideas for the title. Let's see, what did we have? We had
Ghost
Town.
Towns.
Ghost Towns, which is
Art-
just a cool name.
Artist Ghost Towns, right?
Yep.
It's just artist ghost town, collaborative kind of ghost town idea, and then funny ideas for commercials, cool stuff. So hey, we got Rob on there, cool.
You're happy.
Rob, let us know if vocals are good and everything, or if there's any weird thing. So yeah, Abel, what made you think about ghost towns?
Yeah.
And what's the idea? Like, what are you thinking with ghost towns? What's your attack?
Well, the the original thought of it was when I was on the road, there were a lot of times in specifically driving through Texas.
Mhm.
I drove through a lot of ghost towns,
Whoa.
or at least a handful of them.
It's totally empty.
Totally empty,
Hmm.
very bizarre. And these were towns that, like, there were bars, it was almost like downtown areas
Mm-hmm.
that were vacant. And it
Were they
was-
like modern? Were any of them modern kind of looking? Like,
I would say like they looked kind of like our like downtown areas here in New England.
Mm-hmm.
So
kind of like 50s and on, like
Yeah.
diner front windows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like a town
Um,
in, like, let's say Fargo or Minnesota, like we see over there,
Yep.
but just empty.
Just empty. Doors open, boarded up windows. But these at one point were towns that were, I mean, I don't want to say thriving, but people lived there and they had a local bar and a drugstore and, like, shops and stuff, and they were completely abandoned. And it was very interesting going to them because you would drive through nothing for a long time, and then you would hit this town, and then you would drive through nothing again.
Whoa.
And it was just like, my thinking was they just didn't have enough resources to keep a town going.
Hmm.
So there's like nothing outside of these towns.
Right.
So
Totally nothing.
resources like electricity,
Nothing.
things like that. Yeah.
Yep. The peculiar part about it is I didn't see any houses. I saw like places that people lived downtown.
Mhm.
It would be like a storefront, and then like looked kind of like apartments above them. But no like suburb
Yeah.
area surrounding
like
it.
town.
So I always thought, like, first off, I don't know anything about
It's just like a town central, basically. Yeah, you
are
can-
are these towns like deemed like by the state that
Mm.
they're not livable? Is that what happens or whatever? But I always thought, like, imagine if like a bunch of artists moved into a town like this and started a community.
Mhm.
Obviously there would be a lot of hurdles with getting water and electricity and things like that. Solar comes to mind with
Mhm.
trying to get electricity, and then as far as water, who knows? I would imagine that, like, I don't think it rains all that much in these
Right.
parts.
Right.
So like something like wells or collecting rainwater could be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But it was interesting. It really got me thinking because I pulled over and I just started like I didn't want to go into a place because I was nervous. Like there might be people living
Get
there.
out of here.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I just thought it would be cool to like potentially take over a town, find a way to make it work, like one of these ghost towns.
Yeah.
And start an artist community.
There
I
are
don't know.
over 500 in Texas alone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Very bizarre. Very, very bizarre to experience.
Almost 4,000 in the whole country.
But so what also made me kind of think that it might be possible was there were other times when I was driving through northern Utah, northern Nevada.
Yeah.
And there were these communities of like campers and like mobile homes living in these mountains. And they seem to be thriving. And you could literally like pull off the highway and go into these little towns. And there were no real buildings and structures, but it looked like they had like places like community areas and things like that.
And that was in mountains?
That was in mountains and stuff. I can see like potentially water being much easier to come by.
You get water, you can get a dam.
Yeah.
So you can get electricity pretty I mean, relatively easily if you've got like engineers, right? Yeah, but I mean, electricity might not be too bad. There is plenty of sun.
There's plenty of sun.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I can see. That's exactly what I thought. I thought electricity is probably not a problem. You know, if it's a small community and you just go bananas with solar and battery power, but yeah, water could be an issue. But I don't know. It just got me thinking, like, what are some cool things that like an artist community could do, and potentially if some of the artists, you know, I thought of like, you know, if some of the artists were able to do something that could bring in money into the town, it could be a very interesting like area. You know, how do like the Amish do it?
Yeah.
How do they collect water?
Right.
You know,
irrigation and well water, like
well water.
Yeah, they live in and I think they live in areas where that's like set up, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And maybe this is the reason why towns fail, like why this happens, like water dries up, well dries up, the whole town. I mean, I thought that was an older thing, like the town dropped off because the well dried up.
Yeah, right.
But that's like a thing, like the well is dry, there's no water going to this town anymore, you know. So
did it get too populated?
That too, right? That happened. Or was there some kind of mining business that was local? Or, like, is there a mine near these places?
I don't think so. Like this, I mean, you're talking about flat prairie land.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like flat as can be. You know, the highways were, you know, one way in, one way out.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I don't know. It always intrigued me, and I was always curious about like, what are the hoops you have to jump through? Like, are you able to get a town back up and running? Is that a possibility?
Well, you could. I mean, could you buy a town? Is the thing too. Like,
you
buy it and then
you can buy. There's a place called Hell, Michigan, that you can buy for $900,000.
Wow.
It has a population of 72 people right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it definitely sounds like it's possible.
Yeah. It's got a fishing friendly lake, lots 66 miles of hiking trails.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And I feel like it's like, you know, the cool thing is it probably wouldn't be expensive to live there, right? Because like everything's kind of built. Probably no one owns the property at this point. So
well, yeah, but $900,000 and you're buying a town for that. I mean, how big is it?
This town, like
acres.
one of the ones I drove through,
500 acres.
500 acres.
This one, yeah.
Well, the one that I drove through, it was like you would never know. Like if there were people there, it would look like a pretty good
Mhm.
like downtown
Yeah. Yeah.
area,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Um,
That's cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Kind of. That's kind of like your upcycling, right? Of different things, upcycling a town. But it's. I mean, it's weird too to think like it's kind of eerie to think what was this, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be neat. That would be like self-sustaining. You jump right into that whole category. You've already got structure. You've already got infrastructure,
Mhm.
right? But yeah, water. I could see that being like the biggest hurdle to a place like that. I'm not sure
Water
why.
access.
Do you need law enforcement?
You
there-
can make like a town charter, and then I think if you start like your own town, it's kind of up to you, right?
I don't know.
But
That's
you have to
getting-
follow federal law,
Of course. Right,
Yeah.
Right.
but
And state law.
yeah, and state law.
Hmm.
So it goes all the way up.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe have a constable of some sort, some kind of local constabulary. I don't know. That's pretty wild. I'd try to think of that. I mean, it'd be real simple living. But what if you get campers, things like that, like as backup as you build it up?
Yeah. But yeah, I thought cool artist community. Everyone just like can live for basically free. If you
Yeah.
can get something like internet,
Yeah.
and people are doing things like making content online,
Mm-hmm.
that could be a revenue source that doesn't require, ins and out of shipping,
Mhm.
things like that.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, I drove there and I
Mhm.
drove out and, I feel like maybe the next town that actually had people in it was maybe 2 hours away,
Yeah. Yep.
So like
It's in sticks.
weekly, bi-weekly trips to another town that had resources
Yeah. Yeah.
for the time being. And then, who knows,
Yeah. That's
start
like,
our own post office,
yeah.
our
Yeah.
own
Right.
shipping thing,
Right. Rebuild the town. I mean, that'd be like really, and yeah, you would be basically living off the grid for some time. That'd be cool. That would be neat.
I wonder if is it considered free land? Like, so those towns that I would drive through in like Utah and Nevada,
Mm-hmm.
that was considered free land. You can literally just drive off over there and just live. And it's completely legal. And there's no,
Is that for
nobody
the
owns
cattle?
it.
Is that like the old cattle laws?
I
That's why.
have no idea. I
Free
think
range.
it's just like the government can't put resources into it to maintain it in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're allowed to just live there because, I guess it's there. I don't know. I have no idea, but I know it's
Yeah.
like free land because I was talking to some people outside of, once I kind of got to a more rural area, not rural, but a more populated area.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to some people there and they were like, you can just live there.
Yeah.
You can
Yep.
just pull your camper in and just live for as long as you want.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really neat. Yeah. I mean, and yeah, we've talked about that. We used to kind of like dream about doing things like that. But yeah, I suppose if you get some kind of reason also for other artists to maybe go there and like
That's what I was saying.
Airbnb type thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you wonder if you can create a destination,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then I guess you have to get nervous about like who's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. That's where the constable comes in, the art
Yeah.
constable.
Yeah, the art constable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I bet if you looked hard enough somewhere, maybe not even in Texas, but I bet if you looked hard enough, I bet you could find some places where you could just be like, let's all just move here
Yeah. Right.
and make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, like it'd be awesome in New England.
Yeah.
My favorite like places, New Hampshire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Area. But where was that? Michigan? You said, Kaylee?
Hell, Michigan. Yeah.
Hell. Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Hell.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I mean, what could be wrong with that place?
But that sounds like it's a place that has some sort of infrastructure that gets water and electricity.
Mm-hmm. It has a couple, like 3 stores, an ice cream shop, like little bits of infrastructure.
Hmm.
But it seems to be mostly like campgrounds and like hiking trails and stuff.
Yeah.
They said they named it Hell because when they first discovered it, there was like thousands of mosquitoes and like thick, wet forests. So they
Oof.
said we might as well call this Hell.
That's crazy.
Mm.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I'd want to do that, but
Yeah, that's kind of a.
I mean, if I don't know.
Let's see. If
Well,
there's any
these
ghost towns.
the thing with Texas, I mean, they're dry. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about
I mean, it won't get mosquitoes, that's for sure.
yeah.
But you could, yeah. Who knows what it could be with that stuff? It's kind of eerie, but that's pretty cool. Sounds like a heck of a place. Rob says, "Yeah, I don't know.
What if you bought an old fire truck and you just
Filled it with water.
filled it with water?
Yeah, it'd have to be clean. You'd still have to like filtrate it, right?
Oh,
Make
yeah.
sure that it's like.
But I mean, that's with anything. That's with a well. That's
Yeah.
that's with anything. But what if everybody everybody bought a fire truck
Really just bought fire
and you
trucks,
just plug it into your house?
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I suppose.
You probably have to drive, but I feel like if you were frugal with the water and did like camping showers,
Yeah,
turn
right.
it on, shut it off, soap up, turn it on, rinse off. There you go.
You could clean like birds do too. They some birds like clean in dry dirt and sand. You ever see that? That's like their way of cleaning themselves. It's like a dry clean.
Yeah, I don't think that would work for humans.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, there are other like hamsters. You can't get hamsters and things like that wet because their eyes will pop out.
What?
Yeah, have you ever tried to clean a hamster or a
No.
gerbil? Don't ever use water. If you do, I don't think they're supposed to get wet. Their eyes start to like. I was cleaning this hamster,
Oh God.
and then I was like, oh geez, it wasn't doing too hot, and then like its eyes started to just like come out, and then I was like, oh my God, and then I like popped it back in,
Oh my God.
and then I just dried them off. It did not look well, but I think they like clean themselves in the dust and like dirt and stuff. That's how they clean themselves.
That doesn't sound very
So,
clean.
but maybe that's
Yeah.
living in the desert. It's very dry. Maybe you don't have to take many showers too. I don't
Hmm.
really know.
So what would be some sorts of like ways to bring in revenue? I guess, like we said, potentially making it a hotspot for
Mhm.
artists, right? That could be
Mhm.
cool. And then Airbnbs, obviously, there's probably a lot of buildings.
Bringing in
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Lots of water.
Yeah.
You need like tons of. I mean, yeah, that's it. You just get I mean, you could even have there is something where they would have like a water tower, and that's brought in. You could have a water tower and
Yeah,
have
right.
that brought in through fire trucks or through like some way. So that is
A water tower gets water how?
we would pump it in,
You
put it
pump it
into the
in?
water tower, and then it goes down through the filtrations.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that like the extent of that. That would probably be insane, but that would be like a job for someone.
That would be
to get
someone's
like
job.
water
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
town. Just always drive back and forth. But
I feel like everyone would have a job, and they wouldn't
yeah.
get paid for it. It would
Right.
be like, this is how we make the
that's
town
how you
operate.
live.
This
Yeah,
is how you have no rent, and
yeah, right.
you know,
Yep. And then so like I mean, and then if you just build the community to be one for artists or for people to just get away and get to the desert, but it's safe. It's like there's water here. It's crazy dry. It's hot. Whatever.
Hmm.
But it's like an old ghost town. Maybe there's some buildings that you clear out, just kind of make cool.
Yeah. I don't think it was that. It was very like northern Texas.
northern Texas. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there are
So
tornadoes too. That's another thing to think about too. There, when there is season and there is rain,
yeah.
I think tornadoes go through there too.
Well, I mean, this town's still standing.
That is, yeah, that's true.
You know?
Sure, maybe the houses got blown away. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Maybe that's why they weren't there. That'd be crazy. That'd be terrifying.
Mm.
You know, and like only like the main buildings were the things that like stood the
Yeah.
test of it. That'd be scary.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, yeah, you would definitely. How could you get them there? I think there is like an attraction to that for artists. It's almost like a bougie kind of thing. Even celebrity, I could see celebrities like, oh, let's kick it in the desert.
I feel like they have
you're
like.
gonna live in an old pharmacy in the.
Don't they have? I think they have a bunch of stuff like that in California,
Yeah, I could see that.
like
Old
Joshua
mining
Tree. Right?
towns and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what those are, right?
Yeah. Where's that place that has like the painted rocks there?
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that New Mexico?
No, I think it's
That is
California.
Cali?
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't it in? I mean, it takes place in like the 70s, and it's a fictional movie. But that new Tarantino movie, wasn't there like a ranch that had like a bunch of kind of like communal hippies living on it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Like I'm sure those are sparsed, you know, to different points. So, yeah, the idea is pretty cool, and I think like if you keep that idea to keep it functional, it never gets to this like culty kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's just a town trying to make it work. There's no like
Yeah.
mothership. You know, there's
Yeah.
no agenda really, like except for artists to come out here and try to
Make
like
something.
when I'm done delivering this water today, I'm gonna go home and try to like paint or be with my family, and all of us are gonna try to paint or whatever it is. You know,
Mhm.
that would be pretty awesome. That'd be
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's totally possible. It's just the resources thing. You got to make sure you always have those resources, always. But
Yeah.
that's cool. That's a cool idea.
Yeah. I don't know. It just I remember it was just so mind blowing.
It's
Just me
yeah.
like kind of like walking up the street like I can't believe I'm in a town that people lived in and now they're not here and no one's here.
Yeah, that is weird. And you know, it's strange. I've seen videos of people going through like abandoned hotels,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and there's like, it's still like half set up.
Yeah.
You know, there's still like chairs. It looks like someone was just sitting in that chair.
That's what I mean. That's what it was like.
There are beds, you
Yep.
know, that there are TVs, you know, that are just left behind. Just it probably went bankrupt, and some tagging, you know, which is cool too. Like, and then you know,
There was a lot of tagging.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's pretty neat. So yeah, I don't know. There is something really cool to it. I don't think I've ever been to. I've been to abandoned buildings and run through like, what was it? The Ladd Center. Like my
Oh,
brother and I
yeah.
would run through the Ladd Center,
Mm,
and
that's
yeah,
freaky.
it was not that, but that was cool, and there was kind of like an eeriness to it. But it was the abandonment kind of things being like half the things people didn't take were kind of like not necessity, but still kind of like telling of what was going on, at least, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's and again, there's like it's like a nostalgia that's not yours,
Yeah.
you know, and nostalgia has like this kind of dull pain sometimes. You know, it's really interesting. It's cool though.
I think with that like Neuralink, you'd be able to get
The internet,
the internet,
yeah, the satellites, yeah,
right? Because
especially the
now,
more that go up there, right?
yeah, because that's all like you can just connect anywhere you are,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
everyone's the same distance away from them, so it's always the same bandwidth wise.
Well, then in that case, that would be one less resource to try to get,
Right.
you know, for a town like that. for
That
something like
solar, and you know the big struggle would be water,
right?
and
Right.
you know people would need to know how to repair their own shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. If it's just, is it just like a strip? Were these just like strips?
That's what it felt like. Yeah,
So,
felt like a
you just need a
downtown
bike.
strip.
Yeah, so you don't need to.
You don't need cars.
you
Or
don't need a
Yeah.
car, yeah.
I mean,
unless
you'd-
you need to go out of town.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
you'd-
that's true too.
yeah, you'd need a car to go out of town, but you know the idea would be like you only use that when you need it.
You get a horse.
And no, you're not
Yeah, it's legal to ride a horse down the highway
Is it?
here. Yeah,
Is it?
town charter says. Yeah,
Wow.
city hall charter.
I feel like you'd run into some shit.
No. I'm pretty sure no. You can
You can't walk down the hall down the highway.
down the
but you can
highway.
ride
No,
a-
but you've got a horse. You can take a horse down 195 right over the bridge.
Well, fuck it. We'll get some horses, man.
Yeah,
Why
get
not?
horses, get a stable. I don't know, but also if you could, if let's say there was water, and they just had a blown dam, or like there are people who put the money into these kinds of things and end up getting like tons of they might, let's say, put $500,000 into a very nice, it doesn't look like $500,000 into the repair of a dam. Well, you potentially made a town completely sustainable again,
Yeah,
or at
right.
least the resource of money, water flow, whatever else. So yeah, there is, but again, it takes money probably to do that with these things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wonder how that is, like with like groundwater and all that. How that would work, and also you have to also want to be, you also have to want to live like in these places too.
Yeah, right.
Like that's a tough place that might get to me. But if there was someplace local, or on the coast at least, you probably would have more resources as it is.
You have to think though. If they were running bars and stuff, they must have some sort of infrastructure for water that's been shut off,
Yeah.
right? That could potentially be turned back on.
Well, again, that could have also been well that dried up.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about that.
No.
Maybe there was like something irrigated towards it that kept it going, and maybe there are pipes that are still. Maybe it's like this place just cut off, line cut off.
Yeah.
Maybe would you notice like it was ghost town after ghost town? Because I'm thinking like if they had a line going and then they were like just shut them off. Like these are all these places.
That's
are
not what
down.
I noticed. I mean, who knows? I drove down one highway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is there another more rural highway
Right.
or road that connects some towns? It's possible.
Mm.
I was just straight coming through, the highway I was going through. And
Right.
That was it. I was getting from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's possible.
That's pretty cool. I love the idea of like having that. You'd probably have to buy it. But that's a lot of space. I have like this dream of getting like a huge like factory size building. You know what I mean? Just massive space, like indoor space. But you could get that.
I bet
Plus,
you could find plenty of that there.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That plus
Places are
town.
bigger out there.
Yeah. Right. And by that I mean like, yeah, exactly. Like a small supermarket
Mm-hmm.
would be, to me, that it'd be double this size.
Yeah.
But that's cool stuff. Yeah, that's really neat. Something to think about. And again, I bet they are out there. Where are you finding it out there?
I'm looking up guidance for creating a village. Approximately 3/5 of our state is undeveloped and unprotected. Rhode Island,
Really?
What do you mean?
like the 3/5 of the land.
What does that mean? Like it's up for grabs?
It means like a regulation for like resources and stuff. Many of our important farms, drinking water supplies, and habitats are on lands that can be developed, placing critical resources at risk.
Interesting.
I know one thing I would see a lot when I was driving through like kind of like the Smoky Mountains area, like down south. You'd find small towns, and one way that they would bring in money was like these roadside attractions.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like in Goofy movie, they have like that possum They have that possum attraction place, like Possum Zoo.
I don't recall. I did watch that movie, but I was very
Yeah.
young.
Okay.
But I know like a lot of them were like these slingshot rides. You would just pull over and you'd sit in like this slingshot and you would just pull you know, it cost like $20 per person. And they'd pull it down, they just shoot you in the air.
Oh my god. And you were like attached to like a bungee
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. And then that was it. And they brought in money like that. But imagine that would be very interesting. I feel like Kaylee would be really into this. Like, imagine if you did like, you know, some sort of like plays or something, or you know, like a
Mm.
roadside attraction, because this was coming off a major highway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Local
And-
towns would go to it.
Mhm.
That would be a way to bring in money, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Some,
Definitely.
some sort of fun, you know, even concerts.
Yeah, yeah. If you make the stage, you know, it's cool thinking about that, because I'm thinking about like the land they have. Like if you look at New Hampshire when we went, that paintball,
Mm.
there was nothing special about any of the buildings there
Mm-mm.
or any of the. It was just land
Mm.
that they cleared out for fields or whatever, and it's probably money for old rope. Like at this point,
Yeah.
that they're at having something like that. So.
That'd be interesting if you set up like some of the buildings, you sectioned off like an area, and it was like this, you know, like paintball area, but like you could run like into the buildings and like post up out of windows and stuff.
Oh man, I mean that's an attraction right there.
Yeah.
Is like you go to these towns because they're epic paintball
Yeah.
attractions. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That would be cool.
That'd
You
be
could
really
have
cool.
like campers that are set up, and you have like two sides. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mm.
And then
You
have like
just
the full
square
on.
off a big section of
Yeah.
the town where you could do like the big, you know, paintball things. You could have like zombie nights,
Yeah. Yep.
you know,
Yeah. Totally.
Wow.
zombies with paintball guns who are on no side.
Right.
But you got to watch out for them. You can't make noise or they wake up.
Maybe the zombies have like glow paintball gun, like
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
paintballs,
Yeah.
Mm.
and they're all like glowing.
You could do like movie nights. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Like movie in the street kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
I feel like there's a lot of fun things you could do to bring in money, and it'd really get you thinking outside the box. But it could all be like creative ideas, you know?
You can get disc golf courses created.
Yeah, you could have like a rooftop, like golfing,
Oh yeah, that'd be fun too.
just like
yeah.
whacking like, you know, golf balls off of roofs.
That's true. You could have a golf range
Yeah.
going there. Yeah. So if you have money to like put into these things like really quick, like you get golf range, you have like fun roof golf, you have like golf frisbee or something, recreational areas, and
Yeah.
then like paintball area would be awesome. You have
Mhm.
like
You
that.
can even have one of those smash rooms. Like have a couple of like
those,
the buildings.
Yeah, those breakup rooms. Yeah.
You throw on a hazmat suit and run in with like a sledgehammer and just start smashing
Yeah.
everything you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
not the walls, preferably, so that the building doesn't collapse. But
That's
you could
right,
put
yeah.
Yeah.
just smash the things inside.
Have you been to that? Anything like that? A smash room,
I have not.
Kaylee?
No. Sounds fun though.
A friend of mine went, and he said it's like it was genuinely cathartic. It was like nice.
I bet. Yeah.
He said it was like him and his son went in, and they just went to town. And I was like, everything's in there. TVs. He's like, oh yeah, TVs, chairs, tables. He's like, you just break it all. It's like you
Wow.
just smash it up. I was like, wow, that's pretty wild.
That's fun.
Yeah. But no, yeah. So I guess there are like a lot of things you can do. It's also a great movie set.
Yeah.
You know, potential movie sets to use a town like that. Yeah, it would take a crew, but at the same time,
I wouldn't see there being all that much of a rush though, because like, I mean, if you're living for free, you know, the only real things, you know, and you have some sort of way to get,
Food and water and stuff.
yeah, you know, where people just work. I mean, I don't know what like farming would be there,
Mm.
but
Depending
probably
on the
not
area.
much.
A lot
Yeah,
of-
if it's dry,
a lot of
not much.
potatoes.
Well, hydroponics.
There you go.
make
Take over a couple
greenhouse,
buildings, right?
do-
And
yeah.
just hydroponic buildings.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess that is a
You would need the water.
you would need the
definitely.
water,
Mm.
yeah.
You would really need that's more water gone into it. That's the tough thing is you really probably couldn't grow too much there.
But you wonder if was the water the reason that they closed up? I bet you it wasn't.
Well, no, but if it's like if what's finances the town is getting its water, you know what I mean? Maybe like they had plenty of water. Maybe there was like an outside. Maybe there was a water tower. Because sometimes they have water towers that pull and they supply 2 or 3 towns. You know what I mean? But I mean, who knows if it is a financial, everything just shuts down. Like it kind of dominoes when one place shuts down, another place shuts
Yeah.
down. Next thing you know, there's no bar to go to, and so like as soon as a market shuts down, you know, that's it. Like
Time to go.
time to go. I mean, maybe, yeah. So maybe like each business kind of like fed the other because literally people are living for these things, you know. So again,
And they
small
have to
town.
make money.
Yeah. So one business loses it, then the rest of them lose it.
That would be the key. The key would be like not creating an infrastructure based off of
A single
Money.
business. Yeah.
income. You know, everyone. It would be more of a community where everyone would have to like just work for the town
Mm-hmm.
for a certain amount of hours,
Yeah.
have a job to do,
Right.
and everyone just needs to get their job done.
Mm-hmm.
And not rely so much on money. The town might control the food that comes in, and then everyone gets
Yeah. Yeah. You're getting into like, yeah, right. I mean, you have to start thinking about like governmental things like for the town. Like if that's the
Mm.
case, that's like, but that's very, that's a different structure.
yeah.
That's extreme. That's extreme. But that's still, might be the only way for it to survive until it
I mean, it's
starts thriving.
it's how the
you know?
Amish do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Yeah,
One
have you
other-
ever looked into like how like the Amish will build a house?
No.
They'll like if someone needs a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in the town gets together and they throw up a house for them in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
whole house
Yep.
gets built from scratch in like 2 days.
Yeah. That's great.
It's just everyone
Mm-hmm.
doing it, and they know how to do it.
Right.
Like everyone knows what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. After a couple houses, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They kind of get the hang of it. Right.
So
That's cool. Oh, I love that idea. I think that's great. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just thinking of the different things, ideally you could farm on it. And so you could have,
I feel like
But that couldn't be the only thing you rely on, because if you have a bad crop
yeah,
or something,
a bad year. Yeah.
what you can pretty much grow like also only like things that aren't that great for you, right? Probably like corn and potatoes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty
Yeah.
much all you're growing if it's a very dry
Mhm.
climate.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'd be tough. It's tough to think of how, but there must be some way to do that. Yeah. Yeah. That's wild though. I mean, it's so fun to think of the different ways to do things to get it running. But for us, I mean, we could make it, let's say you were in charge and you had money to do it. I feel like you'd have to definitely put all your money at first into infrastructure and make sure you can make,
Yeah.
right? Like resources, make sure that's all good.
Yeah.
And then you can indulge and enjoy it however you think. But once you have those things down, it's pretty awesome. And
Mm.
again, like I like the idea, hashtag Able saves. Yeah, so that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I guess one of the reasons why a lot of the places became ghost towns was because they changed the railways and then the introduction of like highways and interstates. So places existed and they were right on the track.
and then
but
the
then
tracks
They
changed.
changed the tracks and then they started to build highways and stuff. So they were just like in the middle of nowhere all of a sudden.
Whoa,
Oh wow.
that's pretty crazy.
That makes
Mm.
sense. But that tells me that they did have like infrastructure of everything there, and they just couldn't get things coming in. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's to stop a town from just buying a couple Mack trucks? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
For that. Yep.
you know what I mean? Just
I wonder
if
how
it's
many.
a small enough town, you know.
I wonder how
Mm.
many towns there are that are like off the grid, that are off the road, that we don't even know about. Then
I
Right?
know.
you know.
That's what made me nervous to like go into these places, because I was
Yeah.
like, maybe there are people living here,
Yeah.
and maybe they like have a lookout and they see someone come and they're like, everyone, shh, you know,
We'll rob them. Yeah. Take
You
your
know?
resources.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
cool. That's a really fun idea though.
It'd be cool if the Mack trucks were like, you get a couple Mack trucks
Yeah.
and they are like the grocery store. Like, have you ever seen the Mack trucks where the sides slide up?
Yes.
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
you just pull into town, you just flip up the sides, and it's got all produce, and
It'd be
everyone
like
can go
a,
get
it'd
their
be like a
produce.
real train.
And then when it's
Yeah.
empty, they just go back.
Yeah.
You know, somebody switches shifts, and someone goes and
Mm-hmm.
goes to wherever. Because like, I feel like, I mean, I heard this somewhere. I don't know if it's true, but I heard like all the grocery stores get their produce, meats, and everything from like the same area.
Really?
Yeah, if like someone's getting fish or something, like you'll see all the representatives from like Whole Foods, Stop and Shop, you know, all of them in the same place buying the
Mhm.
same shit.
Yeah, from the same
Um,
facility.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you wonder if you just need to like apply to be a grocery store,
Yeah,
and then
they
you
ship it to
get
you.
your tax ID number, whatever, and then you just can go get it.
Mm-hmm. You
So
probably have to pay for it though.
you have to pay for it, but you pay like, you know,
Oh, I see.
you
pay,
don't
like,
pay
market.
You pay
direct
market. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Market
pretty cool.
prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
You know,
That's
and
pretty
that's
cool.
where our roadside attractions would bring in enough money to go get everyone food.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Will it be Twilight Zone episode?
Willoughby, Ohio.
Maybe that's Willoughby. Maybe that's the name of the Twilight Zone episode. I think Kaylee's looking it up.
I've played in Willoughby,
Oh,
Ohio.
stop it, Willoughby.
Stop at Willoughby.
Yeah.
It is kind of an eerie thought too. I don't know if I would even trust the idea of it's a lost town that where people get trapped in. Oh, cool.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah.
I'd be a little nervous to trust someone who's like, come on over to this extremely desolate, like ghost town, and indulge in the empty buildings. and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we got paintball, and but
yeah,
it
they
would
just
be-
play it up like that, and they just eat the people that go there.
yeah, right. It's very Hills Have Eyes kind of creepy
Yeah.
stuff, like
Yeah.
really creepy things. It's a lost
That's
town.
how they get their food for free.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Yeah, it's scary, but it's kind of cool too at the same time. That is kind of what it is, it's like a literal ghost town. With that, yeah, that's
So that's
scary.
what we need. We need solar panels. This should be all we need. Solar panels, a couple fire trucks, a couple Mack trucks, one that probably has a freezer in it, and I think we'll be good to go.
Or,
There's a YouTube channel called Ghost Town Living.
Really?
This guy, I've been living in a ghost town almost 4 years.
Where is everybody?
Building a recording studio in a ghost town
Oh, there you go.
3 months ago.
Who is this man?
I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah. I'm gonna put the link to it in the chat if anybody wants to check it out.
That's rad.
I do. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that. That sounds interesting. Play a video. Can we see the videos? Like,
Nope.
no.
Yeah, we don't have the switcher on. We could if we had.
We'll do something next week. We'll come back to this quickly and just show.
Yeah.
That'd be really neat.
It won't show up there.
No,
A flood.
What?
One of the videos from a year ago. A flood destroyed our road again.
Yeah. So I mean, the elements. That's
Where-
the thing.
Where is it? Do you know what town he's in? Like where in the country he is, rather?
Where's Death Valley?
Oh, that's like Nevada, right?
Rob said so sad and lonely.
Uh,
Yeah.
Not if you have a whole artist
Right.
community, it won't be. It's not like you're trapped there. You can drive out.
Yeah, if you have enough
Oh,
gas.
California.
Yeah, Death Valley. So it's probably Death Valley. Is that what you said?
Cerro Gordo. It was established in 1865 and went on to be the most preposterous silver mine in California's history.
Hmm.
Nearly 500 million worth of minerals were pulled from the hills. Whereas,
Well, it's like you were saying, a town that just got stripped of all its resources, right?
Yeah.
and there
So-
were a bunch of murders there. The law enforcement wouldn't go there, and this led to a murder a week in their
Oh my
heyday.
gosh.
And once the silver and water ran out, most packed up and headed out. Been
Gee,
abandoned for over 100 years.
that's creepy.
Wow,
That's
Yeah.
wild.
that is wild.
And that's where that fella is.
Yeah.
Ghost town living. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna look into that. That looks fun.
And
Looks
then
like a fun.
weird.
I love these little weird rabbit hole YouTubes. They're so
Yeah.
hard to find now. Like searching something on YouTube is like a nightmare now.
Would that be the attraction in itself? Is come look at my ghost town.
It
Come
could be.
walk through this ghost town. That's it.
Well,
Like,
he wants to make it like livable again, and then people can go there. Basically,
yeah,
that's
Mm.
what it says.
that's
Mm.
pretty cool.
Mm.
It'd be
Yeah,
funny.
it's a trend.
You know, it could be funny too. Like, what was the name of the Fantasyland bears or the Fantasyland animals?
I
The
can't remember.
robotic.
Good gosh, I can't remember.
But it'd be funny if
Scary.
like people got to that town and as they were walking through, it's just like,
those
like-
bears,
like
those
all-
animatronic.
yeah, like at the
bears?
bar drinking,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
like
that's
having like
terrifying.
dialogue,
That'd be
you know, and
terrifying.
that's like the attraction.
They're like squeaking as they
Yeah.
move.
Gee,
Their eyes,
yeah, that was the scariest part of those things were their eyes.
Yeah. just like all over the place.
Yeah. Sometimes you'd be eating pizza or something,
Oh,
and
he's-
you just like be laughing with friends, and then you just like look over at it, and like one of them's like stuck, and its eyes are like right on you.
That was a big problem. I was watching a Godzilla thing, and they had a big problem with one of the robotic Godzillas.
Yeah.
Most of it was a suit, but his eyes were robotic, and they would constantly like do this.
Oh, gee, yeah,
They're going like two different directions.
yeah. Its retinas are detached.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
A-
creepy.
And I guess they did like so I think there was the Japanese version. They just kind of released it like that. With like his eyes all like weirded out and
Huh.
wonky. And then like the American version, they were like, we can't
Yeah.
use this. So like they replaced it. They reshot a bunch of it, and there's like only a couple scenes that have him like all like his
Like
eyes
silly?
all fucked up, and the
Oh,
rest
wow.
of them they reshot it. But yeah, it just reminded me of that. But
That's
that
fun.
could be really funny,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. That
Part
would
of
be,
the
that would be
town just
cool.
as soon as you walk in the door, it's like a sensor and everything goes on.
Mhm.
You know, it's like Westworld, but like these weird robotic, creatures that we could make.
From Seekonk.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Massachusetts. Yeah.
I knew we should have bought those when that place went out of
Well, you know
business.
what's funny? I was stuck in traffic and I was looking right over at Fantasyland, and I was like, "What is going on with that place? Like, it'd be, really cool to buy."
Well, when
I
they
think-
auctioned off all the stuff that was remaining, they said, "Come buy all the stuff because we got big plans for this place." And that was like over a year ago.
Yeah, I feel like it was even longer than that, wasn't it?
I mean, there's
Might have been 2
there's like
years
2
ago.
trampoline places in the area, so they can't do that anymore. Which
No.
they have the space, they probably could have, but
I feel like those buildings are really weird. Like the Fantasyland building, isn't it one of those like tin?
it's like
Isn't
this
the whole
place.
thing,
It's kind
like-
of like this place. I think it's a building like this.
Really?
I thought so. Like it's just a big.
I don't know. I remember like
Structure.
every time I'd walk in there, like I'd just like look at the walls and stuff and be like, I feel like this place is like the walls are like this thin. They're made out
Pretty
of
thin.
tin.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah.
Like someone threw it up in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's just hasn't collapsed yet.
It's possible. Yeah, I really don't think it's unlike this place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. Only they put walls over the
Yeah.
insulation. Yeah, it's huge. It is massive. Like
Yeah, it
there
is.
was actually a whole area that was rarely used. They had, I don't know if anyone remembers, but they had rides in there. They had like
Oh yeah.
carnival rides.
Really?
Like in the
Yeah,
back.
they had a little mini Ferris wheel thing.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like tiny on the
Get
back
out
wall.
of here, really?
They had a little roller coaster.
Yeah.
They had the plane thing
Mhm.
that went
Yep.
around.
Yeah.
I think they had like a ball pit thing, like one of those 2B maze things
Yes,
that you
yep.
climb through.
I'm
And
trying
then
to
there was
recall.
even more space behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So it went pretty far back. I think and that space might be like tennis courts now. I know there was like a sports complex behind it,
Mm.
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's its location is great for a business or anything like that. But
Yeah.
let's see. Rob writes, those crappy animatronics at shitty Fantasyland type places are so scary / lame, but funny. Can't help but think of that Simpsons episode. You're the birthday boy or girl.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah, that's really good. I don't know if Rob remembers too. There's another one where they do the Three Little Bears. It's a Simpsons episode, and it's like the Three Little Bears animatronics,
Mm.
and the animatronics are like, somebody's been swooping, and like the speakers aren't working or are blown,
Yeah.
and they're just not quite working. And then Grandpa Simpson's in the last one. He's like, well, the car got hot,
Yeah.
in the last bed. But yeah, those animatronics would be. I'm sure there's a market for those. Like they're so creepy and
Yeah.
used in a lot of things. Jeez.
I think there was an Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode
Mhm.
where like Dennis and Mac like remembered from their childhood that one of them was very attractive, and it was like their first crush,
Oh, jeez.
and the place went out of business. Pretty much exactly like Fantasyland.
Yeah.
You know? I think there's a funny episode of that. Isn't that what that? I don't know what this. I know it's a video game, but I think they made a movie of it. It's like Night at Freddy's.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Isn't that like supposed to be them? Like
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like that is the inspiration. Like
Oh,
those weird bear animatronic things.
I thought that was like a newer movie.
It
It is, but
a video game apparently.
it was a video game, yeah. And it had like many sequels.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it was a very popular video
Oh, and
game.
it has those things as the creepies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
and
cool.
then now they made a movie.
Neat. Yeah.
Animatronic mascots: Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Mr. Cupcake.
Huh.
Mhm.
They go try to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's like a horror game
Yeah. Okay.
using those animatronics.
That's a good monster to use. Those things are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Rob writes he remembers that the guy in the Ghost Town YouTube channel built an 1800s saloon in the town, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean
Wow.
that's another thing you
Yeah.
could do, right? If the buildings are really old, you could like try to restore it to like a very old time, and
Yeah, that's really cool.
that's an interesting
really,
thing
really
to go
cool.
experience, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And
I
then
mean,
like some of the
yeah.
artists could like that could be their job. They just like act like they're,
Yeah.
at that time period.
Yeah, well, they don't
Oh,
even
like
have to. I
a-
mean, if it's a busy saloon, you know what I mean? It's just in this old ass place,
Yeah, I
It's
guess they don't have-
really
yeah.
cool.
I guess
look
that's
like
kind of getting into like those very
reenactment
boring.
thing.
Well, you
reenactment
could get
things,
it
yeah.
into yeah. Those are just I just find those. I can't see an artist being
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
no.
moving to a community that's all artists. And they're
Yeah.
like, all right, you got to pretend to be some kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah, that's probably not good.
barmaid.
But
from
I mean,
the
it would. Yeah,
1800s.
I mean, I just think it'd be really rad to like.
It's so cool, to restore those spots. I think even like those old fashioned, not even that old fashioned, like 50s glass pharmacies. You know what I
Mhm.
mean, that you'd see
The
in
Lectas.
storefronts, stuff like that. The
Yeah.
Lectas, and even the ones as they got more new age, like all glass. Like I love the old storefronts on Gooding Ave.
Mm.
You know what I mean? There's something like kind of like there's nothing special about it, but it's just this, unit based
yeah.
glass business that you see a lot. Like I feel like you see it a lot in the towns like down south or Midwest. No Country for Old Men, like those. It's a town that's still up, still running, but it's just kept the structure like from the 50s or 60s that it's because it works. That sounds really cool. Yeah, and
Yeah, just like a retro diner.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a place where people pull off the road and,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
go to a diner and have a beer or something, and like it's just a cool, fun pit stop. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a destination along other destinations.
Yeah.
It would be cool. Yeah, and if you can make it so that your resources are small, yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty cool thing. I love that.
Mm.
That would be neat.
Mm.
Very cool. What was the other topic that we had for the night?
Fake commercials.
Big commercials. We could make a
Big
commercial
commercial
for a town
ideas.
like this.
Yeah.
You know, like
Oh,
that'd be
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, you definitely could.
You know,
Yeah.
And then all the fake things that we produce in the town.
well, that or like, you know, like how do you get these people to move out to the town?
I think the goal would be like not so much to get a lot of people out there,
Yeah.
just to get people to come there and spend some money.
And then
Mhm.
leave.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you know, I think it to me it should be a place where like this is a place where like artists can actually have a lot of space
Mm-hmm.
each
Mm-hmm.
and can live a little worry free
Yeah.
financially, have all the
Yeah.
space they need, and you know, so I think that would be a very like juried thing
Mm-hmm.
for
Mhm.
people to be able to go live there, you know, as opposed to just like people just moving in all willy-nilly, you know,
Yeah,
like
I
a big vetting process
Would
to
have
make
to
sure
vote
like
you in.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
and I think it could just be family owned. The town is just family owned. That you know, or family / friend, but family owned in that
Mm.
way. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Wall Street. You know,
but yeah, commercials for getting people there, all the wacky things you could think of.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how. Yeah. It would be weird, and that's another thing too. Is I mean, right? The businesses of the place would be our businesses,
Mhm.
right? Because anyone else that has a business there would have to live there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So yeah, we would be advertising. Yeah, I don't know, not real. The funny thing too, they could be legitimate, almost advertisements for a place that doesn't really exist. But then you see like where it's located, like the address. Find us in middle of fucking nowhere. You know, like
Yeah, that would be fun, right?
Yeah.
If you just like didn't tell anyone where you actually were.
right,
Like,
right.
come check it out. Da, da, da. We got this, we got this, we got this. But then you'd never tell anyone where it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And people have to like find it in order to go.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
You could that'd be like a prank advertisement, and you could your prices could be like just killer. But the place doesn't actually exist. Is that legal?
I don't know.
That wouldn't be liable, would it?
No, it would exist.
I'm thinking like, what if could you do that? Like make up a fake business, things like that.
I think that's fraud.
Yeah,
Is
even
it
if you're
fraud?
not making any money off of it.
Oh, if you're not making money,
I mean, just as a prank, like
Yeah.
you just say like we have the
I
best
bet if
guitar
you-
deals. Like,
if you're not making money, I don't think
we're
it's-
selling Fender, you know, American Fender Strats for $200. Get over here, and then say the name of the business, but never say where it is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Just create some kind of like lore of like, what is this place? They have everything, but I can't find them.
yeah.
People search it on the internet and then you just make a bunch of money off like the ad revenue on your website.
Yeah.
Like, where is it? Where people just constantly like clicking
Yes,
on all the tabs.
There you go. You could also get you could just leave coordinates, you know?
Mhm.
like
We're in the heart of town square.
Just-
You
Yeah,
know, just
yeah.
like- yeah.
find us downtown, like 10,000 degrees, longitude, and some other number latitude.
You just send them like riddles for clues.
That'd be cool.
They have to piece it together.
I'd
Mm.
love to do that, like a fake advertisement that people think is real, like with that shock, like riddles, kind of like Rob would remember Simpsons, like when Krusty gets canceled, there's this new thing, and they don't say anything about it, but in these commercials,
Gabbo.
Gabbo, and you have no idea, but everybody just kept saying, "What's Gabbo?
Mhm.
What the heck is Gabbo?"
Yeah.
And then it would show like another weird one, and then like on the reveal of what it is. But I thought that'd be cool. like to have like a commercial for something, for like a product, but you never quite show it. Like Apple, you know how they have like a turning phone,
Mm.
you know, and you eventually like see the reveal and it's like, oh yeah, iPhone 8 or something like that, you know, or iPad. But it never quite like makes it.
Yeah.
It's like coming soon. But and then you keep showing different things of whatever the product is, but just like parts, and you never show the actual part or what it is.
Mm.
You know, you really build it up to be like the most perfect machine. Again, not to quote Simpsons too much or reference it, but there's this thing where Homer's trying to think of an invention, and he falls asleep and he has a dream, and they're like, "This is a brilliant invention. You're gonna be a millionaire."
Oh,
And he's
yeah.
like, "What is it?" He can't see it, and he wakes up before he can see what it is. You know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. You just keep showing these brilliant things.
You got to build the intrigue.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
make people
Right.
be
Kind of
invested
reminds me of that I think you should leave sketch with the tables.
in it.
And everyone's like, what did she do with the tables?
Yeah.
And she's always
But
like,
what's her job?
what was
Tables.
Oh yeah,
tables?"
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all in the marketing, Rob says.
That's true. It is.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd love to the first commercials, I have like ideas for commercials, like fake ones written out, and the first commercial was a commercial for like a life hack book,
Oh yeah.
and I think we mentioned it before where
Oh yeah.
and the first commercial that I thought of was like ideas like for life hacks, and the first idea or an idea that you're given like you're given a freebie in the commercial is the bathroom one with the robe, the idea for when you need to pee or poop and you sit down on the toilet and your robe gets in the way. it's a huge problem. And it would like show like the beginning of the commercial would be like a guy like having a coffee on a porch, you know, and just like, looking sad. And then he looks out and it's like a bunch of his robes like on the line, and there's just like shit stains on the ropes. And his wife is like rinsing them off, and she's just like shaking her head. And then the guy gets this book, and the first thing is like one of the first chapters he reads or something is like pooping with a robe on. It's like, huh? And then it shows in like slow motion in the commercial when he goes to poop. He like flips the robe over his head.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like there'd be a hood.
Yeah, well,
That would
no, you
catch
don't
your
even. It's not even an
forehead.
invention. It's just a trick. You just take the robe because the robe is tied off at your belly. So you just take the robe and flip it over your head, and then you're sitting. And then when you're sitting, you also have like a nice little cave.
But I feel like you're kind of holding in a lot of the smells.
No, because
Oh,
it's
that's
tied
true.
off at your belly, so the smell never comes up above the rope tie.
Oh, okay.
It all goes out from your waist from where it's tied off,
There you
and
go.
you get to sit there, and it's warm and everything. Yeah, there's that one. And then like if you want the robe to stay, kind of, I came up with this idea for like robe weights. So they're robe weights for when you poop and you need to. So the robe's got weights, and when it flips over, it hangs a little more,
Mm-hmm.
and it stays a little better. So when you wipe,
You could also have like, well, no, that wouldn't work. Never mind. I was gonna say like you could have a hole in the robe so that it goes over your head till your head pokes through, so kind of like a bib on the bottom. But then I guess there would be a hole where you're
yeah, you
Butt
don't need to be.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, no,
Then you
yeah,
can just
right,
poop
right.
through it.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. This is a sanitary way of doing it. You just flip the robe over your head, and so it's like you're not selling anything there. You're just selling the idea.
Yeah,
and
right.
that's like a freebie
Mm.
on the show. Is the robe over your head?
Yeah, and then you just have a book of all life hacks.
And what else is in here? You know, so that's the only one I've thought of so far. Like, and it's been a few years going, but I can't think of any other life hacks that I have that are that interesting. But that I thought would be a good commercial.
Mm.
For
Mm.
a life hack that's within this book, and then there could be other life hacks too. Can't think of them on the spot now, but maybe yeah, remember how like horses had like baskets under their butts, like that would catch the poop, You get
They're
that
all
for a
poop
dog
related.
or a cat.
Oh yeah.
It's like a diaper, but it's a basket, and so you can see
How
it.
does it stay on?
You can see it's full. You get some belts.
Belts.
Yeah, you get some belts for it.
Okay.
So, but no, that's
And then what do you do with the basket? You rinse it out? I feel like it's
you tell the animal you
you tell the animal.
yeah, you tell it to go outside and play in the mud. I don't know. You know, it's a show about ideas, so you tell me.
You don't want to put all your poops in.
Well, I
one
guess it would
basket,
work
Connor.
if you could get it to stay on a cat.
Yeah,
If you put cat litter in it, then you can poop in the cat litter and you can just dump the cat litter. You got to dump the cat litter anyway. But with a dog, you got to take the dog outside anyway.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
I just
you
feel
do.
like you're creating more work for yourself.
yeah, and you could also just put it. They have like diapers for animals, so you may as well just put a diaper on them.
Yeah.
Well, that's for the diapers for animals for like old animals that are incontinent and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
But yeah, you may as well just do that. I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside of the box a little bit.
Mhm.
That's what it's all about.
Mhm.
And I'm sure I've had other ideas that are good that I can't really remember. But yeah, the robe over the robe, that'd be a good one. The commercial.
Yeah. What about a commercial for a store where called Browsers,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't buy anything.
You
but
can just browse.
You can look. You can look at stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there's a bunch of cool stuff that you would want to buy, but it's like you can't have it. It's not for sale.
Nothing.
You could
For
make
sale.
up all the stuff,
Yeah.
and you could just have like the greatest things ever.
Mm-hmm.
A computer that never crashes.
Yeah. But it's not for sale.
No,
You
so
can look at it.
the greatest camera does everything, but you can't have it.
That'd be crazy. That's something that would be in like that town.
Oh yeah.
A shop, a store that you can just browse. Actually, you know what? I wonder if people do that only because, they say some people are addicted to like shopping,
Mhm.
and like, what if they could just go and
You can like add it all to your cart, but you can never check out.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be like good therapy for people that are
Yeah.
addicted to shopping. You
Yeah,
can go look at it, but you can't buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But what'd be interesting about that? What if that was like a website that was like a Wikipedia, right? And then like people could create products that don't exist,
Mm.
right? But I mean, you could kind of let your imagination like run really wild,
Mm-hmm.
and you create these products on this website, and then people can browse them and look at them or whatever. It wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden people started being like, "Oh, that's a good idea," and then people actually maybe start making them.
Try to make it. I was wondering.
yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping that'd be like where that would go. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool, right? Because you could just make like the greatest computer ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have no sort of need for knowledge of what your boundaries are,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you're always like, boundaries are not really a thing. It can be anything you want, but then it might give people ideas for.
Well.
Hmm.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Yeah. Also, like, I mean, that'd be definitely all just for the benefit of
Yeah, sure.
anyone who reads it.
Yeah.
What if you know a ton about cars? You know exactly the perfect type of car, the most efficient car to make,
Yeah.
or whatever. Of course, other companies wouldn't be happy that you release it, but you just release the schematics for it.
Yeah.
You might not even have the resources to build it, but you send it out and have someone build it, and you pitch it as like the perfect car,
Mm.
For whatever.
Mm.
But, yeah, that'd be neat.
Okay, I knew this sounded familiar. Chindogu. So they're like Japanese practice of inventions.
Yeah.
It cannot be for real use. It must exist. It must have a spirit of anarchy, but it's a tool for everyday life. You can't trade it. And it's just supposed to be like a nonsensical kind of, almost like it's the same idea as like a Rube Goldberg,
Yeah.
but like a gadget, like an overcomplicated gadget for like everyday use. But
I see.
But causes more problems than it solves in a way.
Sure, like those 90s movies where like they would have this very robust thing that would like crack an egg for you.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
go through all this, you know.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
The baby mop, an outfit worn by babies so that as they crawl around the floor is cleaned.
Yeah, yeah. They put the same thing on cats.
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
put
yeah.
mops on kittens'
Yeah.
paws so that when they walk around, they clean the floor at the same time. Yeah. You know, and I was thinking another thing too would be oh, I lost it. But yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Things that oh, you know what is another one? My dad got one and I forgot who got it for him, but it was to make pancakes, but there was no there was no so it made sense. You have two plates, basically just two pans that close over each other, but there's no enclosure on the sides. So when you put the pancake in and you close it and then go to flip it, everything just leaked out both sides. It was he threw it. He threw it across the room. He was not happy about that. But yeah, yeah, just that sounds kind of fun. I mean, I'd feel kind of bad, but if nobody got hurt and I gave someone a present like that, that'd kind of make my dad say, "Oh, you had a good laugh."
mm,
You know,
mm.
yeah, that's nice.
Mm.
As seen on TV, I mean, all of that stuff. Those are gadgets you really, like a radio and a frying pan.
Mm-hmm.
You listen to the radio while you cook, stuff like that. I mean, those are kind of awesome.
Have you bought any as seen on TV stuff?
Chia Pet, I think, was an as seen on TV.
Oh,
thing.
was it?
Yep. I think the OxyClean was an as seen on TV.
yeah.
Started
ShamWow.
there. What ShamWow? I don't know if that's still like. I think people were able to work around the ShamWow invention
Oh, really?
and like make other
Yeah.
micro cloths or whatever.
In fact, I don't even think it was the first one.
Right.
I think they just marketed it like. But yeah, I was thinking back, like there's been a few things I've bought that were as seen on TV things, and none of them worked.
Or for very long, right?
Yeah, they always were like
Those hoses. Remember those scrunchy hoses?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
and
were.
then it would just be
shit.
like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
out of the sides, out of like the hose, it would
Yeah.
just be like these streams of water shooting everywhere. I was just like, oh my god.
I feel like Job Lot got a lot of their stuff. From,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
back stock of as seen on TV.
Oh yeah.
You see a ton of the things that Job Lot has, and in the top right corner, look for it. It says like as seen on
Yeah.
TV
Mm-hmm.
because they'd have shops too in the malls, the Swansea Mall. Rest
they
in
had
peace.
one at Foxwoods.
And
used
as seen
to.
on TV show.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I don't
it's
know if they
almost
still
like
do.
sharper image. So it
Mhm.
must be keeping up.
But for like complete junk. I feel like
For
Sharper
the most
Image-
part, I
yeah.
mean, yeah, it's really, I mean, sometimes there's like a little diamond in the rough, I think,
Yeah.
with some of that stuff, but for the most part, I mean, we buy lights and we buy stuff from there, but it does end up busting within a year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know what I do
That's the
use?
charm of it.
I do use the Big Shot.
What's that?
It's a hose attachment that uses very little water but wicked high pressure,
Yeah,
and you screw it on like in place of like a hose thing.
regular nozzle. Yeah,
Yeah, it just like it's like almost like could put a hole in your skin,
yeah.
like the
the pressure that
force,
comes
but
through?
it's the smallest. Like
wow, that's cool.
like you could draw with it
That's
if
neat.
it
yeah.
if it but I use that in there because I have very limited supply of water.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Right.
That's a way to get water. I mean, if you had infinite electricity, I don't know how it would work in Texas, but I use my dehumidifier to pull in water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right out of the air, and it stores it in a bucket, and it's connected to my sink.
If the area has moisture in the air, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, it works year round here. I don't know, probably not in Texas.
Maybe not.
Though I'm skeptical about those things in general, that they actually pull any moisture out of the air. I think they just create water somehow.
Mm.
Well, yeah. No. Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be amazing, but I don't think they do.
I don't know. It just seems like so bizarre to me.
You'd have to research it. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's there.
Because it doesn't matter what time of year I put it on, it's gonna make like the same amount of water.
Wow.
Like
Mm.
one day,
Mm-hmm.
like one overnight session will fill up my water bucket halfway. My
Interesting.
5-gallon thing.
You know what? There's another chindogu which I think should be real. It's a butter stick. but it's like a chapstick, but it's butter.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Right? Because then you can just spread it on your toast.
The only thing is it leaves the crumblies in the butter on the stick.
That's true. But you could just slice it right off.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, but then just
Man.
use, if you're going to use a knife to slice it off, just use a knife to.
Spread it out.
You know what? Actually,
Yeah.
I have to say, if you look at the pack of like a stick of butter, doesn't it have perforated lines like to cut
At the measurements of a teaspoon.
at the measurements?
Mm.
So I-
Sometimes, yeah.
I feel like it kind of would just, if you just cut it, it would kind of work like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
also the
true.
way you get butter sticks is by the measurement.
Mm.
So it's always, what is it, 8 cups? Or no, I'm sorry, 8 tablespoons. 8 tablespoons is
Okay.
is a stick of butter.
Oh, right.
So
yeah.
it would be good, like, yeah, if you've got.
Well, you could have your butter stick for toast, and then you could buy
Yeah.
your sticks of butter for
You
baking
can buy your
and
butter
shit.
sticks for your lips, and then eat your toast. So you've got the butter on your lips.
That'd be amazing.
Maybe like if you put it in your
Oh.
mashed potatoes, you just hold it there and it melts over. You know,
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, they
Yeah.
do have butter spray, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I never saw actual butter spray. It was always like fake
Can't
butter.
believe it's not
Can't believe it's
butter.
not butter spray. My dad would put on stuff. When that first came out, yeah, it did not taste well.
I feel like it goes everywhere and gets everything sticky and weird.
Mm.
I was able to believe that it wasn't butter. I was like, this is totally not butter. When I had it,
I do
You
believe.
put it on. Yeah, I do believe it's not butter.
I love how like the name suggests like it kind of suggests like it's a healthier option, but like, well, what is it?
Yeah,
You know,
I
like,
can't believe it's.
It
not
could be
butter.
like way worse for you than
What is
butter.
it? It's not butter.
Yeah.
What do
It's
I do?
10
with it?
times worse for you and made of toxic things.
Yeah,
You know, and people are like, ooh.
yeah, it's kind of in the name. Well, we told you it's not butter.
Yeah.
We didn't tell you what to do with it. We
Said
just
it's not
said
butter, we
simply
didn't say
not
it's
butter.
better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a weird name too. Yeah, it's called. I can't believe it's not butter. Was the name of the fucking product, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is
I
it
can't believe it's
margarine?
not Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but butter. Oh, but I bet it can't. Like marketing, butter is probably.
Yeah, butter's like, it's like saying,
I can't believe it's not milk.
yeah.
They must have had a
Well,
whole
what the
line that
fuck
they
is it?
tried. Yeah, yeah. I can't believe it's not milk. I can't believe it's not cow milk.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Rat milk. Yeah. I don't know. That's wild.
Hmm.
How are we looking at for time, Kaylee?
Hour and 16 minutes.
Damn. Wow.
Mm,
Hour
Time
and-
flies when Abel's back.
Yeah.
That's wild.
mm.
I think it's safe to call it.
Yeah.
I have to use the restroom.
Me too.
Me
Well, there we
too.
are. We all have to use the restroom. It's time to go, everybody. Well, that was a lovely episode. We talked about cool things, ghost towns, and fun commercials and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next week we'll have some. We'll get the switcher out and we'll show some cool things. That guy sounded awesome. His ghost
Yeah.
town thing. So
Yeah, I would
Mhm.
love to get that set up so
we'll pull
we
them
can
up. We
pull
should
some videos up.
start
That'd be
following that person too. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody! Thanks for
Happy New
joining.
Year.
And
Happy
yeah,
New
next
Year.
week. I mean, we do want to bring back guests too. So I'm not sure if Rob's and Taylor are the only ones watching, but if others are watching, we'd love to have you.
Mm-hmm.
And to help us think of other ideas for shows. If you have ideas for how to make it sustainable in a ghost town, or if you know of a ghost town that's around here, that'd be cool. If you know of any ghost towns that are around here, let us know.
I know they have that thing in Tiverton, like the old bunker.
Oh, that'd be that
It's all
just cool
graffitied
too.
up.
There's one in Smithfield.
Oh, neat. Okay,
I saw earlier.
maybe we'll head out to some of those. So, all right.
Do a live cast.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe in the summer so that there's
Fieldcast.
light. Field cast, yeah, that'd be cool. All right, well, thanks again, everybody.
Thanks, kids.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hanging out just another night of the week. Or to be more specific, it's a Tuesday Eve. Got some ideas that just might intrigue. You should come on by tonight. We're spilling the beans.